I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go. And we're back with another episode. We're hanging out at the Hangar. And tonight I decided we're going to go ahead and change it up a little bit. First time I did the Hangar Hangout, I got the opportunity to hang out with a bunch of you guys. Since then, we've done the guest thing, and it's been freaking awesome. Love the guests. I appreciate those guys and girls coming on, chopping it up with me. And we've got some good ones lined up for you guys, you know what I'm saying, moving on. But tonight, I wanted it to be just us, man. It's going to be us. It's the boys and the girls, Jets Fanatics. We're going to talk Jets football. And, man, we got some good things to talk about today, man. We're talking about OTAs. We're talking about Tua. Is he happy? Is he unhappy right now with the current contract negotiations? I think this kind of stuff when it comes to the state of the AFC East is important to us as a fan base. And I know a lot of individuals just focus and care about their own individual team, which is cool. But for us as Jets Fanatics, we're really involved with the whole process of what the AFC East looks like. And there's some stuff going on, man. You're talking about Tyreek Hill now talking about he wants another contract when he saw the Justin Jefferson contract come out. There's a lot happening right now. So we're going to chop it up. I'm going to put the link for y'all to jump into I'm not even going to play games. If y'all want to get on, cool. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get your thoughts on it. We're talking about freaking a lot tonight. I want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers connection with Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall looks a little bit banged up. Are there concerns there? Tyron Smith, he's been a dog, talking about 400 pounds in terms of him freaking benching. That's monstrous. Tyler Conklin is looking like, you know what I'm saying, Brock Bowers too. Like, there's a lot of things for us to talk about. I'd love to get y'all in the freaking Hangar tonight so we can just go ahead and chop it up and talk about it. But without further ado, I see a couple of guys already in here. Hey, man, what's up? Freaking New York Jets Flight Talk. New York Jets. One of those days. New York Flight Jets Talk. What's good, Connor? How you doing, brother? I see Dano's in the house, man. How you living, man? Snowball, what's good? Brandon, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, so Brandon's a Miami Dolphins fan. He and I talk like every day. Like one of those Dolphins fans you can legitimately have a conversation with, going back and forth. And so competitive, but still we go back and forth in regards to like our teams. And he and I chopped it up today in regards to like what he thinks about his Dolphins right now. And he actually has a pretty good thought process in regards to like how Tua should be or might get paid. So again, I'm going to chop it up with y'all and I kind of want to get an idea of what you guys think. I see Bobby's back there. So like I said before, I wanted this to be one where I got everybody in here. So Dano, if you want to get on here, Brandon, if you want to get on here and share with us your perspective via a Miami Dolphins fan, I'd love to have you on, man. Snowball. So if you guys want to get on, again, the link is in the chat. Bobby, are you ready? I don't see you want to. Bobby, you there? Bobby. All right. Maybe Bobby, he might have accidentally jumped on.
No.
Okay. Oh, wait.
I put up my cam.
Hey,
Sorry.
what's up, Bobby?
How you
doing, man?
Hey, doing good?
So how you feeling lately, man? How's life treating you?
First time I get to talk to you, huh?
Not the first time. You've been on here before, Bobby. It's been a little while.
A long time ago, but yeah, I got my own channel now.
I'm sorry, you got your own channel?
Yeah, you got to stop over there soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. I didn't know you had your own channel going on.
I had a long time ago. I've been only doing it for 2 weeks, but I had a long time ago. So I just did like music, TV music songs for the TV shows and all that. Talking sports sometimes, sports trivia. Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, definitely, man. Like, put your channel in the comments, Bobby. Love to go ahead and go over there and show you some love.
Bobby Woodruff, WOODRUFF, and then Bobby Midnight. That's my show.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and definitely give that a follow, Bobby. So, have you been following much on the Jets? On the Jets situation?
We've been talking about that all day today. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about Aaron Rodgers and the Garrett Wilson connection that we've been seeing in OTAs?
I think there's no problem with Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna have a great year this year. I'm not afraid. I think yes, look at that. You know what they call that?
A no-look dime?
No, they call it something in the chat sometimes. Starts with P. Jets P.
Oh, that's Jets porn right there. You can say it,
Yeah.
Bobby, because that is
Oh,
Jets
okay.
porn. Like, I don't think you
Yeah.
understand. Like,
Yeah.
we've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Jets porn. Yeah. See how he's doing so good on that. See, he's not worrying. Look at him move.
So I'll say this, right? So I actually, one of the things I want to talk to a lot of individuals about, if you're in the chat and you want to go ahead and give me your opinion, feel free to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. So I was watching him throw earlier today, and I don't know, I saw this guy named like the thigh doctor or something going around talking all kinds of crap about Aaron Rodgers and his leg strength and stuff like that. And I think I let it get to my head or something, right? So when you look at this clip, I'm about to go ahead and put it on real quick.
What about the blister on his toe? What about that?
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, right? So he caught a blister on his toe. I think it was like last week.
Yeah.
And everybody and their mom freaked out. That wasn't a Jets fan, right?
Everybody Buffalo and the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they started coming for us like, oh man, he's not even gonna make it to like the season opener. Like he's already having issues. It wasn't even the foot that he had the Achilles injury on. It was just a blister.
Yeah, I have a blister on my toe too. Big deal.
Yeah, they're tough. I won't lie. Blisters suck. Like I used to get them all the time when I used to do humps in the Marine Corps.
You were in the
Marine Corps. Blisters are no joke. No. But if you look at this video, if you look at like his footwork, right? They've been talking about how like he's not able to go ahead and get proper footwork down, like he can't plant on the back foot. But the back foot in this situation, again, isn't the Achilles foot. If I'm not mistaken, he tore the left Achilles, which is his forward foot. Right. But like his back foot is freaking a little awkward. So it's like people are looking for anything they can possibly find when it comes to freaking Aaron Rodgers.
This is only OTAs, but he looks excellent.
I think he looks great. So when you look at that, you know what I'm saying? Do you see anything that would worry you in regards to his footwork or any concerns?
And is that grass field, right? That's a grass field?
Yeah, they're on grass right now. I believe so. Yeah,
see, that's what they should have at MetLife right there.
I mean, they should. I mean, I don't know what the holdup is. I mean, that's a conversation. We could have a whole show about why they should have.
Well, they're bringing enough for that boring game soccer, so I don't know what they can do now.
You know what's crazy? I think soccer is very boring too, but it's the most popular sport in the world.
I fell asleep.
It's the most popular sport in the world.
Well, not to me. I think it's the most boring sport ever.
I don't find it to be as entertaining as some others do. But again, maybe that's just me. I don't know. But so when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, you don't think there's any concern in regards to like his footwork or whether or not he's going to go ahead and be an issue this year?
No.
So what do you think about his connection with Garrett Wilson? He's been heating up quite a bit the last couple of weeks now with Garrett Wilson.
Yes, very good. I like that Allen kid too.
Yeah, Braylon Allen has been popping off as well in OTAs. They're talking about
he's gonna have a monster year.
In all actuality, when you got a guy like Breece Hall and you got a guy like Braylon Allen, I think that that 1-2 punch is going to be fun, very very dynamic. But I think what makes them more interesting is the fact that it looks like Braylon Allen has the ability to, without question, catch the ball out of the backfield. So he can go ahead and cause damage in the passing game as well as in the running game.
He did that today, right?
Right. If you got two of those guys in the backfield operating at that level, like I think you're able to get. I kind of want to see if we can do something like the Miami Dolphins did, right, with freaking Mostert and the King, where they had that 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Their backfield led the NFL in touchdowns. I think they were up there in yardage too, as a group. But ultimately, I think both of these guys being bigger backs, they can be able to go ahead and withstand a lot of that punishment a little bit more. So you saw a chain or a cane. I don't know how they say it, but I want to say it's a cane. He put on some weight to go ahead and I think deal with the season a lot more. So I think that's personally exciting. We got Snowball in the building. What's up? Like I said before, it's gonna be a hangout, so I'm gonna just bring you guys
Oh,
on and we're
yeah.
gonna talk ball.
Oh, this is what I do to my show. I bring on everybody. They talk about anything. Well, I don't care. I have them on like 2 or 3. Last night we almost went 4 hours last night.
Oh yeah, now y'all crazy. I got to go to work in the morning. Snowball, how
Oh,
you
I
living, man? How
know.
you doing?
You work. I know. I'm out of work right now because of my
Gunny,
back.
what's up? How are you? Bobby, what's going
good,
on?
brother.
Hi, Snowball.
Hey.
Snowball,
what's the
what
topic?
do you think about your boy Aaron Rodgers and how he's looking in OTAs?
Oh, that's right. You guys were talking about Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. Well, listen, this is what we've been waiting for, right?
Facts.
This is it. This is where it all comes together now. Like, when Rodgers went down last year, who was the first one he apologized to?
Garrett Wilson.
Sorry,
kid.
Right? Sorry, kid.
Yep.
Guess what? Now he's like, let's go, kid. So it's going to happen. This is the year. So barring anything tragic, we will see many throws to Garrett Wilson. We will see many yards from Garrett Wilson. He's going to have a breakout year. This is going to be it. This is his claim to fame.
So I'm glad you brought that up, right? So you're seeing a lot of money being paid out right now to NFL wide receivers. Justin Jefferson just got the bag. I think the annual average of $35 million a year. Started to show you, man, how ridiculous it is now in terms of, I guess the NFL is making a profit. The salary cap's going up. You got to give the money somewhere. It's a passing league now. You saw freaking Justin Jefferson the other day. I think it's like $35 million, $114 million fully guaranteed. Like, that's a lot of money. We're gonna have to pay a guy like Zach. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Like Garrett Wilson.
What'd you say?
I apologize.
He made a mistake.
I want to throw up now that I started to say that. Like Garrett Wilson. And I think, again, we've seen this guy be quarterback proof. He's been able to go ahead and put up 1,000-yard seasons the last couple of years with no quarterback, no offensive line. He was literally suffering double coverages because there was no other threat on the field. And he's going to have a legitimate quarterback one. He's going to have a legitimate freaking running game now to support him. You're not going to be able to cover double team him when you have freaking Mike Williams out there, Malachi Corley, who is improving and showing signs of life in camp. How do you see it kind of panning out for our guy? Like, how do you see freaking Garrett Wilson, again, stacking up in terms of stats this year? And then when it comes time for us to pay him?
Bobby, you want to take this or should I talk?
You talk first. I talked enough. You talk first and I talk after you.
All right. How is this going to pan out? Like, what'd you say? Jefferson got 35.
Yeah, I think it's $34 million a year. He's getting quarterback money. Quarterback money like 4 years ago, but that's quarterback money to me.
Yeah, and when you compare Wilson to someone like Jefferson, obviously he doesn't have the stats yet that Jefferson has, but
of course
the potential is there. So I guess this is kind of like a wait and see kind of a deal. You got to see where he goes with this. Could he put up? How many yards do you think he could get? Could he break 1,500 yards?
Yeah.
Easy, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so breaking 1,500 yards, like, it's going to be a very scary deal. I don't even want to think about the amount of money that he's going to be, dealt. It goes up every year. So, and someone with his stats could demand like quite a bit of money. But I think I'm just going to enjoy what's happening now, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I want to enjoy it now. I know it's gonna break our bank. There's gonna be a lot of money paid out, but he's gonna be worth it.
Best wide receiver we've seen in Gang Green in quite some time. I'd say Keyshawn Johnson being the last one that we could say was a homegrown guy that has operated in the capacity of a Garrett Wilson.
Homegrown.
Yeah,
guy.
Brandon
Give
Marshall.
me that ball.
Marshall, right?
But
give me that damn ball.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I think this season everything goes well, right? Let's say injuries out the window. You don't have to worry about that. That's not a concern. I really see him in the conversation as wide receiver one by the end of the year. And I say that because Breece Hall and Brandon Allen are going to force teams to have to make a decision on who's going to do it to us. Is it going to be the passing game or is it going to be the running game? And you can't freaking double Garrett Wilson. Now, he's been dealing with double coverages for the last 2 years with no quarterback on the ball. You're going to have to go ahead and play legitimate defense against this Jets. People don't realize this. And I've said this a couple of times. The New York Jets offense has never faced a real NFL defense because they've never had to. They've literally pretty much said, we're going to double Garrett Wilson and we're going to stack the box because we don't care that your quarterback, we don't believe your quarterback can go ahead and beat us. That's been the reality. And we've still seen those two guys, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, put up numbers and produce with literally no help. I think this year, where defenses are going to have to go ahead and play real defense against the Jets, you're going to see these guys eat, and I'm excited to see it.
Is it going to hurt his stats that now you have Rodgers, right, who can put the ball wherever he wants to put the ball,
right?
And then he's got multiple running backs behind him. So really, like, if he can spread the ball around that much and hit so many people, you know, like Williams, like Conklin, possibly Ruckert, you know, you have a number of people on the team who could possibly like take yardage away. So who knows?
So I agree with you there, right? In terms of could it, but I look back when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I look back when he had his wide receiver ones, right? When he had his Devontae Adams and he had his Jordy Nelson. Now, he is a guy that can distribute the ball and distribute it beautifully. But Aaron Rodgers, when he trusts you, he's going to feed you. And when he's looking at like, all right, you know what? There's not a lot of places to throw the ball. I'm going to put it in the best place that my guy can go get it. That's where I see the Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers relationship is going to start to really soar. I really believe that Aaron Rodgers, being him, wanting to have a relationship with at least one safe target, that Garrett Wilson can be that guy. And it wouldn't shock me if he becomes his Devontae Adams safety blanket. What's up, Dano?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And we live in the dream, man. We're talking Jets football right now. We're talking about OTAs and the what ifs. You know what I'm saying? This is our time of the year. This is our time of the year to be Jets fans and be excited and talk about the man. What if, right? And then hopefully this season, like some of those what ifs become the realities. But how do you feel about what you've been seeing, man, in OTAs?
Dude, we're expecting good ball now. Well, I don't know. I mean, even Zach plays good ball right now. But as far as like the recovery journey of Aaron Rodgers, it's like he just picked up a year ago and continued. Like, there's no drop off.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Matt?
There's no drop off for the injury. There's no drop off for age. So, like, that's reassuring. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think what it boils down to is a healthy Aaron Rodgers this year. I think definitively we're talking comeback player of the year, Aaron Rodgers. I think in Aaron Rodgers, that gives us a combination of what he was his last MVP year and his last year in Green Bay. You're talking another guy putting up potential MVP type, numbers. Like, he's going to get MVP votes. I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to be the Aaron Rodgers he was in 2022 when he won the MVP. A lot of people are like, oh, man, y'all need Aaron Rodgers to be the MVP. No, we don't. We don't need MVP Aaron Rodgers for this team to go ahead and win games and go ahead and be competitive. But I also don't believe that Aaron Rodgers fell off of a cliff like they said he did in 2022, right, where he had his freaking 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 64% completion percent. Oh, man, he fell off of a cliff. Could you imagine if we had that kind of production as New York Jets fans, and that's his floor? I can't wait. B-Mac, how do you feel about our guy Aaron Rodgers, man? Well, you would know. I mean, you being a Packers fan, so I know you got something to say about this guy.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's great to see y'all. Snowball, Bobby. Shout out to you, Bobby, for getting me my first date. You know what I mean? So
I'm trying.
Yeah,
right.
And then I'm definitely gonna be on your show. So I will be on it. And of course,
thank
the
you
legend
for coming on my show.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Somebody else should come on my show. I'm not mentioning any names.
Yeah, and then of course you got the legend, the legend, Gunny. So,
Gunny is
Yeah,
a
man.
legend. Yes.
Oh, Bobby, I'll be there, man. I will be there.
Not you, the guy underneath Snowball now. That's the one I want on my
That's
show.
beautiful, man.
He never comes on my show.
Dano. Oh, he's talking to you, Dano.
And he knows
People
who
say
he
Patrick
is.
Mahomes started. People say Patrick Mahomes started the no look pass. Is really Rodgers. He's the one that started
Yeah.
that first.
Yeah.
Rodgers was doing that in like the early freaking like 2010s.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I used to see him do it, and I was thinking to myself, "What is this guy?" Because my wife's a huge Packers fan. I would see this guy do it. I'm like, this arrogant, cocky mother. I would always freaking have something to say because you got to go ahead and follow the proper mechanics. But he was throwing dimes, not looking at what he was supposed to throw. So he mastered it. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is getting a lot more love because of recency bias.
No,
But
Scott,
Rodgers definitely.
no.
Yeah, and
Rodgers-
people forget when Rodgers like now I know he's older, so he's not able to do to like run around and pick up a first down with his legs. But people forget when he was younger, he was kind of like a white Michael Vick, like he was very underrated as far as taking off
Rambler.
and spill. Like this guy would like pick up a 3rd and 8 with his legs, like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like it was his quick speed. So I think far as him in his prime, he was a little bit underrated for his mobility. But I think at his age now, I don't need like that. I just need like a guy like I think he's underrated as a pocket passer, in my opinion. I think when he was MVP in 2021, a lot of his plays was from the pocket. You know what I mean? So I just think y'all just need that arm and that brain. And if he can stay healthy, which, I kind of hate that word, it's kind of annoying because every quarterback guy stay healthy. And I get it. He's 40, coming off a torn Achilles, but, Joe Burrow is everybody's homecoming king. And he has 2 seasons injuries and as 4 years as a starting quarterback. So, but yeah, if he can stay healthy, then yeah, man, y'all should be fine, man. Y'all got the defense, y'all got the weapons. I know Hackett is a big, huge question mark, but y'all really don't have no choice but to put your faith in Rodgers with his health, and hopefully he knows what he's doing behind center. So yeah.
I mean, I think ultimately what it boils down to, right, is if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, this team is going to win a lot of games. I don't think the playoff drive is not even in question. For me, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I think this team is going to be literally competing for the AFC East. For me, I think it comes down to really 2 teams. I mean, maybe I'm not giving enough respect to the Buffalo Bills. I just don't. I look at the Bills and I look at them and I see a team that regressed significantly, lost too many pieces on the defensive side of the football, too many pieces on the offensive side of the football. They're depending a lot on some rookie wide receiver in Keon Coleman, who I like, by the way, to replace production. The whole concept of, the last half of the year we didn't use freaking Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs is the biggest coping mechanism I've ever heard of in my entire life, because at the end of the day, those two being out there specifically made defenses respect the pass. So yeah, your tight ends will go ahead and getting all the looks and getting the passes. That's great. Good for you guys. But people were playing defense against Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis because those guys are respectable wide receiver 1s and wide receiver 2s. So the fact that they've minimized the value of having those guys and they're going to be okay, I think it's a lot of copism, and that's cool. Is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the division? Yeah, I'll say yeah. I'll say yeah for now. He's QB1 in the AFC East, but I don't know which version of Aaron Rodgers we're going to get, and we'll know for sure if that's legitimate. But I see we got my boy Tito. Is that Tio? Tio on the freaking clock. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? Salute. I saw a whole bunch of legends on. I figured I'd come in, give a salute, say hello, and what's up to everybody. Just pure legendary, lineup that you got here. So I just wanted to drop in and listen and comment and see what was going on.
Yeah, nah, definitively, man. Like this is how the Hangar started, right? Like I think like episode 1 or 2, I just said, you know what, I jumped on here. It's supposed to be a hangout, and I had everybody just kind of jumping on. And so tonight I pushed back the special guest. Wanted to go ahead and just get back to the roots of it. I want to try to do this at least like every few weeks, right? Where we just get back up here and it's legitimately a hangout. You want to jump on, share your thoughts, we jump on here. So I'm glad you jumped on, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah,
it's good you wore a hat too. You know, everyone's got a hat, so you got to wear a hat.
I like that. I didn't even notice that till you just said something.
You got to have hats. So, you know, you can't come on if you don't have a hat. So if you're thinking of coming on, put a hat on first.
Put a hat
that
on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I like where your hat's at.
And pants, too. And
pants. Yeah, Bobby, we are wearing pants. I think we're all wearing
pants.
Yeah,
but somebody does not wear pants in this chat. So.
Bobby, I thought pants were optional. They're not optional. Okay. So hold on.
Just don't stand up.
Let me come back.
So, talking about quarterbacks, I know y'all have seen what's going on right now with Tua. He seems a little, in my opinion. Did y'all see the Tua press conference earlier today?
No.
All right, I'm gonna play it. I gotta play it because I think that's going to be telling. Because I heard this. Let me know if y'all can hear it real quick. Can y'all hear that?
No.
I could try to lip sync the words.
I think he needs a haircut, though.
Is this like bad lip reading?
I think he needs a haircut, though.
So y'all can't.
Y'all can't hear it.
When you first do the share screen, does it ask you at the bottom to share the tab audio?
Let me see. Yep. Also share tab audio. Okay, cool.
Yeah. There you go.
Look at you teaching me something I need to know about this. Appreciate you.
I got you, boss.
All right.
Yeah, this restream is great though. I really enjoy it.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
I love this thing. All right. So then now boom. Share.
He does need a haircut, though.
Yeah, you know, he lost some weight. No, I don't see it.
Yeah, but he needs
some
weight, a haircut,
and
though.
He had some cornrows in. He was looking like Drake. He even said,
like Gary, you mean? Like Drake. What about Gary?
Speaking of haircuts, did you read Stigger's quote?
What?
Yeah, I had that here too. I did hear that. I'm loving this kid Stiggers. Well, yeah. I'm gonna paraphrase. I don't want to waste too much of our time with trying to figure that. So in essence, Tua got up there. They were asking him about the contract negotiations, how's it's going, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He was a little bit more confident and I guess a little bit of a chip on the shoulder than I've seen Tua ever be. He talked about how like they started off like far apart, they're getting closer. They asked him like, you know what I'm saying, like what does he believe? He's like, the market is the market, so like we're gonna get to the market. So like he's standing his ground on what he believes he should be making. They asked him about the Jared Goff comparison, and he almost in a most of a I don't want to say cocky, but let's be honest, he had better production last year than Jared Goff, and he says like, okay, well if he got paid that, the market is the market. So it looks like Tua and the Dolphins right now are they're trying to go ahead and get to a happy medium for what they should pay the man. Listen, I think they should pay him $60 million a year. I think Tua has earned that. I think he led the league in passing last year, and you got to pay the man his money. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but Tua right now being back and forth with the freaking Dolphins, how do y'all think that impacts how those guys play? I mean, there's a lot of y'all on the screen, so let's just be mindful of each other as we talk. What's up, Johnny?
What up, Gunny? Holy moly. Look at this.
You really think that they should pay him, or you want that as a Jets fan?
As a Jets fan, I want that.
Okay. All right.
As a Jets fan, I want that.
I think he's absolutely correct in his statement. The market right now dictates that quarterbacks are to be paid whatever the market value is. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the Dak Prescott situation a few years back. No one in sports casting or in the NFL actually thought that Dak was the top 5 quarterback.
Right.
But everyone knew that Jerry Jones was handcuffed to a decision whether if he did not pay Dak, he would have to burn everything down and start all over again. And so because of that situation, it almost handcuffs the owners and the GMs to make a decision, which gives the quarterback position alone that kind of that leverage that really no other position has, unless your name is Justin Jefferson and you get that $35 million quarterback 2 money. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts.
So we're talking about Tua, right?
Yeah, Tua and his contract. Yeah.
Okay. The name of the game with Tua has always been health. Are you gonna give Tua the bag like that? Dude lost weight. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, he looks good.
I mean, but that's concerning to me, right? That he's lost the weight and all that to absorb those hits.
I got you.
I mean, that dude's been out how many times? I mean, and it's not just in the NFL. We had the same issues over there in Alabama as well. So, I mean, I would be cautious, needless to say. You know what I mean? Because I think Miami's high-powered freaking offense is is it because of the playmakers that are around him? You know, you just need another Chad Pennington there. And if you have a player like that could go ahead and get it right then and there to the players and all that, you're Gucci, you're golden. So I wouldn't give it to him, man. If that dude is out here saying stuff like that, I mean, it's unfortunately Miami, right? You don't need to get paid so much money because the taxes,
true,
et cetera, that comes into play out there. So that's my take on that.
What's crazy is you just brought up like the playmakers, right? And now that came out, and then Justin Jefferson got his money. Now Tyreek Hill's talking about, hey, I was the number 1 receiver in football last year. You just paid Jalen Waddle. Jay just got freaking paid. I want a new contract. So Tyreek Hill wants a new freaking contract. Listen, that's a lot of money you're going to be putting on the offensive side of the football. And I agree. I do believe that the Miami Dolphins need to put a supporting cast around Tua for Tua to be Tua. Mm-hmm. I know what you mean in terms of the injury aspect, but I look at it this way, right? I thought it was a joke when he talked about I practice falling and blah, 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 blah. I'm better at that. I thought it was a joke when he said that. But you actually saw him last year when he did take a couple of hits. He actually did a tuck roll. Like, I saw him do a couple of tuck rolls to avoid hitting his head. So I was like, damn, he really just freaking did a tuck roll right now to avoid hitting his head. I don't know if that's going to be, that's going to help him with a smaller frame, right? But concussions were the big concern when it came to him, man. Like the terrible ones he suffered early on. Yeah, the hip one coming out of hip injury coming out of college as well. I think he looks good. I think he does look like an NFL quarterback, like a solid, I think 215, 220. But You're right. Last year, putting on the weight is the first time in the NFL he was able to maintain a full season. Could there be an offset when it comes to that? So how do y'all feel about the Dolphins in general in terms of their current situation, contractually speaking? You're talking about Tua wants his money, Tyreek wants a fucking new contract. Jalen Waddle, I think they got a bargain for him since they signed him before the Justin Jefferson deal. I think if they had waited to now, that might change the whole game for them. So they got lucky. But yeah, so like that's a lot of money on the offense side of the football. There's 3 phases to the game: special teams, defense, offense. Like, as a Jets fan, yes, pay him the money. I want y'all to pay. I pay them all. Pay Tyreek, pay Tua, pay Jalen Waddle. I want y'all to go ahead and focus primarily on the one side of the ball and dismiss the rest. I do want that for them. But do y'all think they do it?
Yes.
You think they do it, huh, Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Well, look what the 49ers did. They signed McCaffrey for 2 years again.
Yeah, but they signed him based off of also having Brock Purdy on his rookie contract for 2 more years.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
That helps.
Yeah, you're right.
But
they might have to get rid of one.
I think, John, you said no?
I said no, man. I mean, how? I mean, we got the math guru right next to me, and whatnot, and he knows the cap situation like the back of his hand.
There's no way in
hell.
For the Jets.
True. But there's no way in hell, man. You get that. I mean, it's a lot, bro. And like,
it's not sustainable. I mean, you have 2 wide receivers making the gross national product of a small country at 60-70 million dollars under the cap. That's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to play the level of different players that you need to make a full team. So like, what else does everyone else get? And then Tua is a quarterback he's going to command $50-60 million a year, somewhere in that range. So I mean, 3 players, is going to take up $100 million of your cap. I mean, that's not a sustainable thing to do. I mean, maybe if they were playing at the old Miami Stadium, or like where the Hurricanes play.
I want that for them though, Tio. I want that for them so bad. I'm going to, every time I see the Tua-neers come out in droves, I'm jumping right in there and saying, pay that man. He's giving you the best quarterback season you've seen since Dan Marino. You pay that man. I want them to pay him. Listen, I think last year they had a roster that should have won the AFC East. I think by the end of the year, they fumbled the bag and they gave it back to the freaking Bills, which actually agitates the hell out of me. I'm sick and tired of Bills fans. They've never won anything in their entire freaking lives for them to feel like or act like they're the freaking right. They must, but they act like they're the freaking Patriots or something. So I digress. The Dolphins pissed me off because last year when we went down, they should have freaking won the division and they dropped the freaking bag. I don't think their roster is as good this year. They feel good about it. I don't, but I still believe they're probably going to be more competitive in the AFC East if they can figure things out in November and December than the Bills in terms of the talent that they do have on the roster. But I think after this year, man, I don't know. I think this is it. I think if you're going to pay Tua and if you're going to give Tyreek Hill more money, you're going to eat away at the ability to put supporting pieces around that man. It's just a matter of when. So if it wasn't last year, well, they should have won the AFC East, in my opinion. I think if it's not us this year, it should be them. I think that they're who I look at as being the guys we're competing with for the AFC East this year. After this year, man, what do they do?
I think they're smart enough to. I think the one thing that they do have going for them is Mike McDaniels. I think is a young, bright head coach.
I love him. Yeah, I think.
And I think that's one of the things that they have going for them. So if they were smart, one of the things that they could do is kind of actually step off and step back from that Tua contract and sign a bridge quarterback for now and just kind of tough it out and draft a quarterback sometime in the future. Maybe that's Arch Manning, maybe that's someone else, Shador.
Tio, what are you doing? We're not giving them a game plan here to go ahead and be better, to be more competitive.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, what I rather they do is sign Tua.
Yes.
Fire McDaniels.
Yes.
Draft everybody from Panhandle State University, and yeah.
Hey, McDaniels is our OC when Hackett's gone, and Saleh and McDaniels go on to win titles.
Yes.
I think that would be a disgusting combination of things. And I would be okay if you gave them the dual head coach title. I wouldn't care. If you got Saleh and freaking McDaniel as the defense and offensive head coaches, I don't care how you do it. I'm with Tio on this one. I hope they fire McDaniel. I hope that it all falls out of place. They fire McDaniel. He comes with his boy Saleh, and then we go on a run. Because I think McDaniel, honestly, is a guru. Like, you hear the term guru thrown around.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody was talking about freaking Tua getting paid QB1 money just freaking 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they were talking about trying to bring Tom Brady over to go ahead and replace the guy because the team didn't believe in him.
Right.
I believe that freaking McDaniel is him. Like, he's that dude. He's a freaking wizard. I would love for him to get fired by the Dolphins, and he somehow ends up on the Jets. Even if he was to be our head coach, and we kept Ulbrich as a freaking. No disrespect to Saleh. I'm just saying, if things don't work out this year, I think we all know where this is going with the coaching staff.
Hey, Gunny,
what's up?
Gunny, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, hit it.
right? So I just thought about that, right? The running backs that they got too, they're all like super underpaid, right? That they have on there as well.
Yep, correct.
And but can we be honest though? Like, we're all Jet fans here, right? Other than B-Mac, but he's converting, right?
Yeah, we're getting him. We're pulling him slowly but surely.
I fucking hate the Dolphins, bro. Out of all the teams, like out of the Patriots and the Bills, I hate the Dolphins, bro.
Really?
So, like, dude, yeah, man. Like, they are. I mean, back in the day, that was the squad. That was the beef. That was the rival squad. Because the Pats, back in the day, they were garbage.
They were trash. They were trash.
Oh,
yeah.
They had that ugly looking uniform that you didn't know
Patriot
what they
hat.
were. You know what I mean? So, like, I hope that they go and pay Hill and a chain or whatever his name is, and all of them, bro. Just pay those like 4 players, and then be capped, because we've talked about depth.
Yep.
And it's something that we finally have within the Jets organization that we have not had in I don't know
years.
How long? So, like, we get one guy goes down. All right, guy. Next guy. Go ahead, come on in. So, F the Dolphins is what I'm trying to say, because I can't stand them damn Dolphins, man.
Like, okay, so for me, it's always going to be the Patriots. I'm sorry. I've never wished ill on like actual players, right? Don't ask me about the Patriots, because you'll see an ugly side of me as a sports fan. I'm not proud of it, but I despise them to a whole other level. I think I despise them more because of the amount of bandwagon fans that came out of the woodworks when I was in the military. Like, individuals from Arizona all of a sudden are Patriots fans, from California. I used to get heat at individuals from the other side of the country. Oh, I'm a Patriots fan. Really, bitch? You're a Patriots fan? And because of that, I have a disdain for them, the fan base, and the way Bill Belichick did us dirty when he fucking quit. Listen, maybe I'm still seething from it. I'm still kind of like I hate them. Like, I wish ill on that team so often that I have to catch myself like, karma's a real thing. You need to calm the fuck down. But I hate the Patriots. Now, when it comes to, like, in terms of a legitimate, healthy rivalry, yeah, I can see what you're talking about when it comes to the Dolphins. My brothers and my sisters are all Dolphins fans, so it's real. I hate to see them succeed, but I will watch every Dolphins game. I'm the person that watches every AFC East game, but if I can only watch 2 teams from the AFC East, obviously Jets are number 1, and I will watch the Dolphins games because I want to see them fail. I enjoy seeing them fail.
Yeah.
I find joy in it. So this year, I specifically want both teams to be healthy. I'm talking about 100%. Everybody's healthy for us to go out and play against them.
So Benny, quick question for you: Are you going to be at the home opener Thursday night?
I will not. I couldn't pull that one off, man. But I'm going to be at the freaking Steelers game. I'm going to be meeting Dano. I think Dano and I've been talking about that, so I'm going to be at the Steelers game. I'm looking at one of the Miami Dolphins game, and I'm trying to figure out which Jets home game I'm going to go to.
Because that's a wet dream right there. I mean, like, we're gonna like smash the Patriots that night, and
that's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be a beautiful thing to see. It's gonna be like a Picasso art masterpiece with what Aaron Rodgers and our defense and everything is gonna do to that team. So,
God, I can't.
Y'all expecting? I'm sorry, time to go. Well, are y'all expecting Rodgers to have like a 6 touchdown game on the home opener against the New England Patriots?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Listen.
Shit.
Go ahead. My bad. Dano, Snowball, you've been quiet. My bad, Snowball. What do you think about my bad, Snowball? What you think?
God forbid we win the first 2 games. We win the first 2 games. Just watch what happens that night. It's going to be incredible. I can't even imagine what that stadium would fall down. It's seriously, before the game even starts, the stadium would fall down if we start off 2-0. And I don't know why people are, listen, I know there's some people in this chat. I know there's some people on this panel who believe that the Jets will lose to the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm guilty.
And shame on you. Shame on you.
I don't want it to happen, Snowball. I hope I'm wrong.
Put your hand out, smack it, because you know what? That's not what fans do. Fans, we will win every game. Before
remember,
they will win.
the Detroit beat the Kansas City Chiefs on the road week 1. So you're not telling me that the Jets can go in there and beat San Francisco in week 1?
Thank you, B-Mac. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Let me clarify that. I think if we were going to have to face the 49ers anyway, I think they're the best team on the roster on the schedule we're facing. I think our best chance to beat them is definitively catching them early on in the season before they get going. I'm not going to argue that. Do I think they just have a chance? I think they just have a chance in every single game this season.
Yeah.
But if you tell me to take away the heart a little bit, put the logic hat on, I'm like, man, they've got more continuity on offense and defense. That'll be Aaron Rodgers' first actual game with this offense, and that's where I get a little bit more like something's got to give. Their defense is no joke. Let's be honest. Like, the 49ers defense is going to be a test for this team. But
do you watch Aaron Rodgers?
I do.
Do you listen to his interviews?
I do. This is a man on a mission. I feel
he has got a chip the size of Mount Rushmore.
I love it.
On his shoulders.
True.
It's Monday Night Football. He's going up against, like the 49ers, right? Didn't he want to be drafted by the 49ers?
He did. Yeah, it was his team growing up.
Every ounce of machismo, every ounce of manhood is going to be surging through this guy's veins on Monday Night Football to prove everybody dead wrong. Don't underestimate this man. Do not underestimate him. He will kill you.
In homage to a Jake Asman saying, from your lips to God's ears, because I hope that's what happens. Like, I really hope that's what happens.
Speaking on that, now I do want to ask all y'all questions because y'all are Jet fans, and except for me, but the Jets are my second team because of 8. But I don't want y'all don't be biased. Be objective. There's a lot of talk today on social media, and the media is talking about it, and CJ Stroud brought it up on some podcasts. And he said that first of all, he said 2 things. One, he said that they asked him about Eli Manning and Rodgers' career, and which and whose career would you take? And then he said, "Give me the 2 rings." So because Eli won 2, so he said he would take his career over Rodgers. And then one thing he said that pisses me off, being a Packer fan, is that he said if Matt Stafford was on the Packers those years, he would have 4 or 5 rings. And that really pissed me off. That second one pissed me off more. But forget about the Matt Stafford thing. What do y'all, because y'all Jet fans and he is on your team, so but be objective. Be objective. Don't be like a biased thing. What do you like? Would y'all have Eli Manning's career over Aaron Rodgers because Eli got 2 Super Bowls and Rodgers ended up having 1?
I'm gonna go first on this one real quick. All right. I hate that. I watched that interview and I wanted to punch CJ Stroud in his throat. And I like CJ Stroud. Like, this is somebody that I really started liking. And then he had to open his mouth and say some dumb shit. And it agitated me to no end. Now, in terms of what he said, I get it to an extent, right? In terms of, I'll ask you guys as fans, would y'all rather have a 4-time MVP quarterback or 2 Super Bowls as a fan base?
Hold on. Gunny, you answer the question.
All right, so then I'll answer the question. So in terms of Matthew Stafford,
we'll come in.
Yeah, and the Matthew Stafford thing is ridiculous. I think that's just him taking shots now. And congratulations, you just put yourself on the list. We're going to see you this year. I think he forgot he's playing us again this year. We made him look less than mediocre last year. I think this is going to elevate our boys to play him again this year, shut him up for a little while. I was saying the Texans might be a game that would be freaking competitive, but after hearing him run his fucking mouth, I now realize he's going to get stomped. So I'm all about it. But in terms of trading careers with freaking Eli Manning, I think as a competitor, I would. And this is why. At the end of the day, man, it's about the rings, bro. Like the whole conversation right now of why Michael Jordan is the greatest, right? He's got 6 rings. And not Kobe Bryant. LeBron James has surpassed him in points and all that. He's potentially one of the greatest single players, blah, blah, blah. But everybody knows MJ's the GOAT. It's about the rings. Tom Brady will not be the freaking leader of freaking all these stats forever. But I don't know if we're ever going to see somebody catch that man in Super Bowls, which means you will always hear about our great-great-grandkids will probably know about Tom Brady. Hey, he's the GOAT. He won the most rings. So the rings aspect of it in terms of winning two, yeah, I would take that as a quarterback.
Okay, Gunny, I'm gonna have to interrupt. Wait, hold on. This is where I'm gonna have to come in real quick. No, what you're saying, you're not wrong.
I wanted to say something too.
Wait, Bobby. I'm gonna give you just a shot in a second, but I just want.
Oh well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, B-Mac.
Yeah. Just okay. Now, this ain't no hot take. Like I do kind of get like no. 2 versus 1, you know what I mean? Now, if it was me, I don't know. I'm going back and forth with that. But now, you saying that you would take Eli's career because the 2 rings Rodgers just won. Does that apply to Drew Brees, Dan Marino? Well, because they got 1 and Marino got 0. Does that apply to some of these greats too who have 1? Dan obviously got 0, or is this Rodgers?
No. Anybody who I would take Eli Manning over anybody who has less rings. And again, those 2 rings came against, guess who, guys? The GOAT. He literally can look at Tom Brady and says, I own you, bitch. The GOAT. Like, for me, that also holds another layer of value because he's always going to be in the conversation. Hey, yeah, Tom Brady went to freaking, I think, 8, but he only won 6. Who beat him in those freaking 2? Oh, Eli Manning, right? Like, the rings mean a lot. They mean a lot. Like, yes, it's always fun to win the battles, but ultimately the goal is to win the fucking war. And Eli's done it twice. So now, if Aaron Rodgers gets his 2nd ring this year, I mean, I think we can revisit this conversation, and I can guarantee you I'll be changing my stance on it.
Bobby, please.
Oh, thank you, VR. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think the Jets, I want to talk about the Jets against the 49ers. I think the Jets defense is going to run all over that little boy Purdy, what is his name? They're going to Purdy hurt him into the ground like 6 times. Just grind him into that grass. And then our offense is going to destroy that smelly defense over there, the 49ers. I think they're going to score 35 points. And it's going to be 35-17 Jets. Then when we get to that smelly big mouth that you hate, Stroud, we're going to even embarrass him more. We'll probably get 8 sacks against him. Put his...
All right, Bobby.
Yes. Wait a minute. Quiet. 8. We're going to get him 8 sacks right into the ground. And then we're going to beat them like 34-0 like we did last year. Wasn't it? Like 31-0 we beat them? We shut them out last year, didn't we?
No.
Yes.
Nah,
it was 30 to 6
or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
30 to 6.
we beat their asses, so we're gonna beat their asses again this year. So that's my point right there.
Y'all hear how Bobby's talking about we? I love it.
How do you like that point? Very good, guys.
It was amazing.
You're a true fan, Bobby.
I am.
It was almost as good as B-Max.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Dano, your 2 cents, really.
I'm kidding.
You don't show up on my show, you make me unhappy.
Bobby, you're everywhere. You know I'll circle to you.
Yeah, when next
year?
So,
what's your opinions, VR and Snowball and Johnny and Dano about the whole Rodgers?
Wow, did this turn into the B-Mac show or what?
Now he had a question, and none of us have answered. All of us haven't answered it yet, so he's still asking who's going to answer.
Yeah,
I did have a comment for Snowball. I do appreciate his positivity in regards to the season, and I just wanted to say, when I was a young man, I used to think I could pull every single chick that I saw in the bar, and then
I still can.
After a while, I got slapped and turned down, And so the reality became I'm not going to get every girl, and I'm not going to get every win. And you know, even if I'm you know, positive positive person, that is just the reality of the situation. Do I think we're gonna have a good shot in that game? And believe me, I agree totally. Aaron Rodgers from Chico, California. He played for Cal. He's coming back home. He has a chip on his shoulder. The 49ers didn't pick him, you know, in the draft that year when he dropped to the Green Bay Packers. There's been a handful of times that he's played, you know, against the 49ers. So this is going to be another opportunity coming off of a Achilles injury. But you know, I don't know. They're the reigning NFC East. I mean, the NFC champions, and we're going to their home, and they're going to be lifting flags and doing all kinds of stuff on a primetime game. I just think that's a tough ask for the first game of the season. So that was my first point. And then to answer BMAC's question in regards to trading careers, this is an old argument actually. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm old school. If you guys remember Jim Plunkett, and Jim Plunkett for the Raiders won 2 Super Bowls as well. But he's never made the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's one of those, you know, like in the conversation, like Joe Klecko for Raiders fans about the Hall of Fame, like, oh, he should be in or whatever, but he never did enough to get into the Hall of Fame. Now, I do think that some of the things you mentioned, Gunny, about Eli Manning with winning the Super Bowl and, you know, revisionist history during that time or whatever, he beat the, you know, the undefeated team one year, and he beat the, you know, the Patriots again, and Tom Brady with the best that ever did it, so, you know, so to speak. But trading those careers, I don't know if it's something that anybody would do just based off of, you know, Dan Marino's in the Hall. You know, there's a lot of different quarterbacks along the line that didn't win that are in the Hall, and, you know, still have those accolades, and, you know, individually. So it really depends on if you are an individual person or if you're a team player. And I think that's what it comes down to. So that's my answer. I think that I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't trade Eli, you know, for Eli Manning's career.
All right. You want me to go, or
go ahead, Johnny.
or Snowball? Go.
Listen,
like that.
we're going to go across. All right. Listen, what do you choose? Do you want to go down as like the best passer, or do you want to go down as, you know, someone with, you know, rings? I'd rather be the person who is the best at what I did. So, you know, I think that's the reputation I would go down with. I would go down with being the best ever at yeah, rings matter to athletes, you know, to fans. I don't know. I whatever. It's a matter of being the best at what you do. So I think Aaron is the best at what he does. Eli it took a team, you know, some guy caught a ball off the back of his helmet, you know, at some point. It takes a team. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It takes a team effort to win. So sometimes you're surrounded by the best. Sometimes you lack a couple of people here and there, but you're good. So, you know, if you've ever been on a team, I don't know how many people have played sports before, but, you know, if you're on a team sport, right? Like, you know, it depends on the people around you too. So, right. You know, I've been on some teams where, you know, I pull the weight and some other people don't. So, you know, we could be great, but we need someone to, you know, step up to the plate every time. So I would take Aaron Rodgers' career over Eli Manning's career.
That's the key word too, weight. Because when I think about the argument, I have to weight each Super Bowl. Like, in my opinion, a Super Bowl that you win by carrying your team to victory is worth double And if you team, victory, it's worth the median. And then if your team carries you, it's worth half as much, in my opinion. So, yeah, you can look at how many rings each guy got and compare them, but I do think that you have to weight the numbers a little bit. Because like Dilfer versus Rodgers, it's 1-to-1, but come on,
Of course.
one guy made it much more possible for his team to do it than the other guy.
So, for myself, right? So I did want to touch base in regards of real quick, the San Fran thing. I think we're going to lose. Simple as that. And I'll move forward, right? With the home opener, so you see these three guys that are right here, right? We're literally in the same section. If we're 2-0 going into this game, Snowball, Unk, I hope you guys been doing some squats because I am jumping on top of you guys' shoulder and we're doing the damn JETS chant on that damn thing, right? It might have to be both of you guys or whatever, but it's happening. So just a heads up, all right? And then first and foremost, shout out to Dano because
I got my weights ready.
Yeah, those are some balloons. I saw that. I saw he just inflated those weights real quick. But I saw it, Dano. So I was pretty busy today, right? So thank you, Dano, for putting that out because I saw that and I was an individual that was like, CJ Stroud has been in the lab working hard, right? Circling this game coming on because I was like, he's a silent assassin. That dude's quiet. He's in there putting the work because he is only a rookie. This dude opened his mouth and said some off the wall. What was he thinking? What was he doing? Bro, you don't say that to a man that has, just like what they're saying, he's held his weight, right? He's always had some subpar fucking offense that's been around him. And he's the one that's always elevated everybody else around him, right? So, like, for me, Stroud, bro, you done messed up, man. You are awakening the dragon that's already been awakened. And he's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm throwing flames, fire to everybody right now. Dude, it's revenge tour, man. Like, he is coming. But I would take Aaron Rodgers all day. He's owned that division for how long? He's owned teams for how long? Right? I mean, every dude coming up, he's 20 plus years in the league. How long was Eli? You know what I mean? So 12. Like, I mean, it's still a long time. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he got a player right now that is not even as old as his actual playing career in Braylon Allen right now, and he's still out there slinging that damn ball like there ain't no tomorrow. So
that's the Bears who's his daddy. That's the Bears who's his daddy.
That's what I mean. Exactly. So, like, last year was a big tease for us, man. Like, it was the biggest tease that we've ever probably felt as Jet fans because we were there. We were feeling it. We were like, damn, you know what I mean? I cannot wait for this year. I mean, Gunny, we talked about it. Line.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, they set it up. We got it. Right? Bro, I just cannot wait for the season. It's B-Mac, why you had to go ahead and talk about some CJ Stroud getting me all hyped up right now? I don't even know what time it is right now.
Nah, in all actuality, like, CJ Stroud was on my list of things to bring up tonight too. So he just jumped. He got ahead of me. But yeah, it's definitely on my list of things I want to talk about. So I appreciate you, B-Mac. You actually segued that beautifully.
Yeah. Look, what CJ Stroud said about Rodgers and Eli Manning, I'm not gonna get as mad at that as with the Stafford thing because there is, like, I don't know, like, the whole Eli Manning and Rodgers debate is confusing to me because I just don't. I get it. You want the rings, but you have to look at the body of work and Aaron Rodgers' entire body of work. And the thing that bothers me about this, like, people act like Rodgers hasn't won a Super Bowl. Like he has a Super Bowl. Like, if he had 0, then maybe. But people say, well, he cares about accolades and individual awards and not team awards. He has a ring, and he was the Super Bowl MVP too. So that means he was the reason why they won the Super Bowl in the game. You know what I mean? So he has a ring, and people, and let's stop acting like 2 is way better than 1. All right, now if you have 4, all right, 5, all right, but come on, like so if Rodgers gets 2, right? People gonna say, well, Troy got 3, so Rodgers, so I would take Troy Aikman's career over Rodgers.
No, see, but this is where it changes.
Yeah.
I think if you get one freaking Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl ring, right?
Yeah.
He had a miraculous freaking playoff run, and then he fell off the face of the earth. I think the argument of was it a fluke, right? Did you get lucky? Did the chips fall in your favor? That can be argued for anybody with 1 Super Bowl. Once you do it again, that argument's out the window. When you're a 2-time Super Bowl champion, you can't talk about like, oh, fluke this or fluke that. It doesn't matter. You had to pull your weight to some extent to not mess up as a quarterback of the football team to win 2 Super Bowls. So I think 2 is significantly more telling than 1 because you take the fluke. Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl. I don't think anybody believes Joe Flacco was a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't for even a second. Right? Trent Dilfer, right?
Yeah.
Like, so for me, I think 2 puts you in that category of like, it wasn't a fluke.
So are you saying Rodgers' ring was a fluke?
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm just saying the debate can be had. Like, okay, well, was the NFC weaker that year? Was the AFC team he was playing in the Super Bowl weaker? Like, people can debate or argue whether or not like it was more of a circumstances helped him get there. But if you do it twice, there's no argument. I've done it twice now. You can't tell me that one was.
But Brett Favre, he been to 2, right?
Yeah.
That second one lost against the Denver Broncos with John Elway and Terrell Davis.
Right.
So even though he got 1, been to 2, will you take Rodgers' career over Favre because Favre been to 2, well, got 1?
Nah, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers' career over Favre's, and I love Favre, but I'm taking Aaron Rodgers' career over Favre.
Hey, Gunny.
Yeah.
So this is another thing that holds a lot of weight, and it goes right to what Dano was saying, right? If we go ahead and win a Super Bowl with the New York Jets, that carries so much more weight than any of. So for me, look, as much as we hate Tom Brady and all that, Tom Brady's up there because.
Oh, hold on, guys. I'm sorry.
What happened, Bobby?
What happened, Bobby?
Is he okay?
Hold on. You don't hear that?
No.
You don't hear anything?
No.
You don't hear the old Jets song playing?
No.
Nah, I just hear you.
Okay, I thought you heard something. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
No
Hey, I
worries.
just want to bring one thing up before VR. I'm going to go soon. I'm getting tired. Remember you said
all right,
Jim
Bobby.
Plunkett? He played
Yeah.
for the Patriots too, remember?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Originally, I think he was wasn't he drafted by the Patriots and then
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
when the Patriots weren't good and they had Patriot Pat on the helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting tired, guys. I'm sorry.
Bye,
All right,
Bobby.
Bobby. No worries, brother. You have a good night, Bobby.
Okay, thank you very much for having me on. Gunny,
Bobby.
you're awesome. Snowball, B-Mac, Johnny, and VR. Oh, I forgot you, Dano. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Until
He's
you
not
come
that
on my
tired.
show, you better come on.
You got me
don't hear
there.
that? You don't hear that?
No.
Nah, I
You
don't hear
that?
it.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
Bobby.
talk to you later, guys.
Good night,
Love
Bobby.
you, Bobby.
Good
Sweet
night,
dreams.
Where am I?
Bobby.
Bobby
Okay.
swept my leg.
Uh,
Man. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Sweep the leg. Hold on, B-Mac. Damn,
He
let me
wasn't
go.
done yet. Yeah, go ahead.
I've been trying to be cool with it.
I don't talk too much, so.
Nah, you're good, man. I'm just breaking your balls.
That's
The Jets ring will mean a lot more than what Tom Brady's ever done over there. And I think for myself, it would go ahead and put him in front. Dude, it always goes back to that conversation. Everything is bigger, right, in New York. And I mean, how long have we talked about Joe Namath? He's still to this day talked about to this day. Super Bowl 3. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers brings a Super Bowl to the New York Jets. That's going to be a conversation. Tom Brady has how many rings? Well, Aaron Rodgers brought a ring on over to the New York Jets, and you guys know their history, right? They're like, shit, you know what? You're right, blah, blah, blah. So that puts so much more weight into that conversation and all that. And the other thing with CJ Stroud talking about Stafford and all that is because he's always been ran by the damn Georgia Bulldogs. That's the reason why he's talking about Stafford and all that, because that's his daddy. You know what I mean? So it's truth, man.
Just
so
putting respect for his father. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
like again, look, everybody that's in the NFL, they're young, right? They've looked up to Aaron, bro. Like that's my favorite quarterback. You know what I mean? For what stuff I went ahead and being able to see and whatnot. So like, I mean, I didn't see Joe Montana like that because I know about it, but you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of young. Steve Young, same thing. Like all these other great quarterbacks, but I've seen Aaron Rodgers his whole career. Saw what Tom Brady did and everything. So for me, those are the two GOATs conversation that's always going to go back. And he gets that freaking ring with us. It's game over. It's game over. Like it's what Messi did with the Rangers. He's not known for what he did over there in Canada.
Except
he's known
if you're
for
Canadian.
What he did. He's known for and he's known for playing in New York with the New York Rangers. It always goes back to that. And how many rings does he have, Snowball? Do you know off the top of your head right now?
Which one, Messi?
Yeah.
2?
I think 5.
Oh no, 5. Sorry.
Yeah. He had 4 with the Edmonton Oilers.
4 with Edmonton, 1 with the Rangers. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's right there is my case.
2 different teams. Yeah.
All right. He was right there with Gretzky.
What 2 is better though? Oh, I'm sorry, Vio. Go ahead.
No. All I was going to say was, if Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl with the New York Jets, he will never have to pay for a meal ever again in the New York City, tri-state area, anywhere in a 100-mile radius of New York City. So,
yeah,
that's
I don't think he'll have to pay for a ride. I don't think he'll have to pay for a hotel. I don't have to.
Free house.
He becomes a king. He literally becomes the king of New York if he wins the Super Bowl here.
That dude can murder somebody, and there'll be a hush hush.
Not guilty. Not guilty is the verdict.
But did he really murder him?
Yeah. He deserved it.
He did win the Jets a Super Bowl.
His fingerprints are on the gun. Is it his though? Are we sure?
Well, we have video on it.
We have video footage. That could be a lookalike. I don't know.
That guy deserved
Not
it.
guilty.
He deserved it.
Yeah,
it was
Thank you, Aaron. Which 2 is better? 2 with 2 different teams, 2 with the same team, but separated, or 2 back-to-back?
Oh, that's a good question.
2 back-to-back. Because
back-to-back,
that's hard, man. I mean, Gunny just said it.
I disagree.
2 back-to-back. That's fucking hard, man.
That's really hard to do. You're in rare company. You're in rare.
But you do it with 2 different franchises. You're squashing any notion that it wasn't your doing.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
We all know that it wasn't Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady the moment he freaking left the Patriots. That's a good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, we all thought like, man, anybody can go into the Bill Belichick system and just freaking kill it. And then Tom Brady left, and we were like, oh, you a basic bitch without Tom Brady. Oh, okay. So now
back to back. I mean, back to back's hard.
It's hard,
but if you have a good team around you, it's a little easier. A little.
I think the circumstances they all have. I mean, they're just different circumstances for different things. Like if Mahomes just won back to back, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, was that situation tough as compared to if Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl at the beginning and end of his career? That feat is, at least to me, above what Mahomes did, because even though it was hard, he had the same team, he had the same coach, he had the same circumstances, and the circumstances were, I mean, believe it or not, like the AFC was weak. I think, in my opinion, with injuries and things of that nature. And
NFC was dominating.
So yeah, and so I mean, the circumstances was just kind of like a little bit different for that time. But for Aaron Rodgers, he's taking this team up from his bootstraps now. And then, with the Green Bay Packers at the beginning of his career, he was coming in for a legend in Brett Favre to take that team to a Super Bowl. So I think the circumstances have to be taken and weighed into the situation before you answer that question. So you actually have to specify the subjects in each situation to like kind of compare and contrast. In my
context matters.
Yes,
context matters. This is crazy. I didn't know this. Freaking Bonesy with one here. Shout out to Keanu for that stat. But Rodgers has made more conference championship games than he's missed the playoffs. Jesus.
Five
That's
championship games.
Disgusting.
I'd say B-Mac would know that. Yep.
Yeah. And I was actually there. I think for one of them I was there. I went to a Packers game with that, but it was one that we lost. So I think that was it was an Atlanta Falcons game I was at when we got blown out. That was 2016. That was the run the table year. People forgot how people forgot that year Rodgers is Superman. Like he literally put the team on his back and dragged us to that championship game. And we had I think the 25th ranked defense to that year, and all the injuries. And that year he was the leading rusher too, with 300 something rushing yards. That was crazy.
Yo, but that Pat Mahomes talk, man, that back to back, look, he in the beginning of the season, like ESPN and all that, they were like, they're not going to be good. They've lost, this guy, they lost that. Who is really them? And Pat Mahomes said, you know what? I'm going to show you motherfuckers what I'm about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm that fucking guy.
Yeah.
That dude had a bumped ankle and still did stuff.
Offensive line, wide receivers couldn't catch for shit, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and people are going to be like, but with Andy Reid. I mean, what was Andy Reid before Pat Mahomes?
Well, Andy Reid was a beast with Mike Vick.
Yeah, I mean, he had
but never got the chip, right?
No, he got a Super Bowl. He's got one.
No. He didn't win. He went to the Super Bowl. He never won in Philadelphia.
With McNabb?
McNabb.
Yeah.
McNabb didn't win one?
No, he didn't win. He lost. Yeah.
No, that's one of his big things. And when Reed left, he was always that close,
Yeah,
that's
he
what
was.
I'm saying. So but then you guys are right too. That conversation about what Tom Brady did going, but then I'm like, but fucking the Buccaneers were a quarterback away from it, right? At that point, at that time.
As are we now. That's everybody wants to give Rodgers all the credit if we do it, but he's lucky to have us right now in his career. Where else could he be where he can get one or two more right now?
It's so true. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And it's what we've been saying.
Man, Nick would show up right when we're about to go ahead and finish the show. What's up, Nick?
And you would just bring me in without introducing me. What's up, brother?
Listen, this is a hangout. We're all just hanging out, Nick.
I got it. I'm like nothing.
It wouldn't be a happy ending without Nick.
What's up, boy? Snowball, my man. What's up, guys? What's up, Dane? What's up, Johnny? B-Mac in the house. And who's the guy on the bottom with the arm? Statue of Liberty? What are you doing?
That's Tio. That's Uncle. That's Uncle.
I'm reaching for your head.
Reaching for the bottom.
Powerful.
So, Nick, you missed I don't know if you've been watching or you've been hearing this. Stroud. You heard the CJ Stroud bullshit earlier today when he was talking about
CJ Stroud been tripping all week.
Now when I think about it, Dano and Johnny just kind of put me on game. He has been running his mouth a lot this offseason. Now that I think about it, he's been on a bunch of podcasts the other day talking.
He did his top 5 quarterbacks the other day,
and it was a trash top 5.
It was
a trash top 5.
He put Dak in it.
That's when I knew. I was all right, this dude.
I don't know any world where even Dak knows Joe Burrow.
Even Dak knows. Yeah.
Dak
wouldn't put himself in his top 5.
You tripping?
Yeah, even Dak looked at it like, I don't know about that.
He's like, you tripping, CJ?
Yeah, and then he doubled down with this. listen, I think Stafford has been one of the most underrated quarterbacks ever. And it's amazing. He's been the quarterback for two of the greatest wide receiver seasons we've ever seen with Calvin Johnson and then Kupp. Yeah. So there is a little bit of precedence of if he had a better team, he would have done better. But you go at Rodgers, like,
yeah,
I get it. Rodgers has had some playoff meltdowns, but he's also a lot better than CJ Stroud. Like, I don't get why you punch down in the league. You want to shit on Josh Allen? All right, I'm on board with you, CJ. You know, you want to throw some shit at Tua? All right, I'll take a dump and give you more shit to throw. Like, but to do that?
Yeah, I don't understand the logic behind it in terms of him pursuing Aaron Rodgers of all individuals as the target of choice. Because I watched that thing. They didn't ask him specifically about Rodgers. He pulled him out of thin air. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You're going after one of the greatest of all time. This isn't the greatest of all time in terms of who you let to go ahead and target. Like, yeah, he's all right. I think Matthew Stafford's better. And Eli Manning's career, again, I understood it because of the rings. And I think I would want the Super Bowls more so than the personal accolades, but that's me. But I definitely understand where y'all are coming from in terms of the legacy. Like, Aaron Rodgers will be that dude. He's going to be I don't think another quarterback going to ever come close to lowest interception percentage ratio ever. I don't think that can be beat. I don't know if that level of accuracy and arm strength, because he's a combination of gunslinger and precision. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't think you'll see that ever again in the NFL. But
you can appreciate someone without having to shit on someone else. But
100%.
Let's be real. We live in a day and era where if you attach a lightning rod's name to your comment, it gets more attention, right? If he just prayed, damn, somebody's got time now that the Knicks aren't playing. No, I'm kidding. Wait, we did not see him doing Jet content for the whole playoff run, and now he's
this
back
is a
on
Jet
the Jet
stream.
show. I love my man.
I don't know why you had to bring up the Knicks right now. We were all having a good conversation, having a good time. I want to go ahead and
blame it on Nick to bring up the Knicks.
It's just, I was like, you know what? I want to have a good time. I'm gonna stop by. That's just F
gut
up,
punch.
Nick,
Gut punch.
But at least I'm consistent.
That's true.
Actually, Gunny,
I gotta change my hat.
With what you guys are talking about. If I was the owner and that's my quarterback, and I woke up the next morning, I saw that list, drug test. Like, there's something wrong with our boy, all right? Go drug test his ass.
Selected for
if you're the Houston owner, you're like, oh, great. Now I got another quarterback doing crazy shit.
Yep. Yeah, that list was wild, man. I looked at that and I was just like, is this satire? This just has to be satire, right? And then, like, nope, he reaffirmed it numerous times by trying to explain himself. I was like, you can't explain that. You need to stop.
And it can't be confirmed if that podcast was filmed in a massage parlor or not. I couldn't tell. I didn't know the layout.
I'm saying,
maybe it's converted.
The dude got one great year. One great rookie year, and the dude's acting like he's a 15-year Hall of Fame vet. Like, dude, like, chill.
Yeah.
That's okay. He can continue to run his mouth as much as he wants.
Yeah. He's got some podcasts like he's Aaron Rodgers.
We got something for that.
Hey, Gunny, let me ask you this
bulletin
real
board
quick,
material like that. I mean, like you just don't do that. I mean, that's the defense in that game on Halloween. I mean, his name is going to be CJ Stroud because they're going to be putting like dirt on his ass, bury him.
He's going to see
8
ghosts.
sacks of dirt.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did have the Jets potentially losing that game against the Texans until
I did.
After he ran his mouth, I'm just like, congratulations. You just pissed off Aaron Rodgers and the Jets defense. You might die that game. It's possible you might die in that game.
Like thank you a little bit, right? A little bit of a thank you. Thanks for the motivation.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Way to go, buddy.
Hey, Gunny, let me ask you this then, right? So with that conversation that CJ Stroud was just talking about with the whole Eli Manning and Aaron Rodgers crap, right? Let me throw a different name on there, right? Would you take Joe Namath, 1 Super Bowl ring with the New York Jets, over Eli Manning's 2 rings with the New York Giants? Fandom aside.
I love Joe, man. He's brought us the one that gives us something to talk shit about to like Bills fans. So I'm always gonna have love for freaking Joe, but I'm going with Eli, man.
So you think that holds more weight? That Super Bowl where they were not supposed to win, where the Baltimore Colts and whatever were supposed
I
to whoop our ass?
I 100% get where you guys are coming from, but I look at it like this, right? Like I've been in battles, and battles are great, but winning the war is ultimately the end game. Like I don't care if I get my accolades, as long as we win the freaking war as a squad. That's all I give a shit about. So I think I look at it differently in that context. Like I've played on basketball teams where it was me and freaking Lance or Bavon that were pretty much carrying the team, and I'd be pissed off because the rest of the team didn't show up when we needed them to. So I know what losing as a team feels like, and winning as a team to me is great. So I think for me, I can see, like, when you said, like, man, the personal accolades, like talking about your grandkids' names in the record books, I get that. But I look at 2 Super Bowls, man. You're the world champion twice. That to me, man, twice you were the best in the world at what you do as a unit, and your name is attached to that.
Not to mention, in 2007, man, they beat the undefeated team. Nobody like that. That was as impressive as the Jets winning in 69 or 68 or whatever you want to call it.
That's what I was gonna say, Dano. Like, don't you give like a little bit of brownie points
for
the David Goliath points, right? Because no one was beating Brady and them at that time, right? Like, yes, we know there was miracle catches involved and all that, but damn it, you did it. So you got to get brownie points for taking down Goliath at the time.
Not a single person watched that game. Not a single person watched that game, Giants versus the Patriots, and we're like, damn it, man, the freaking Patriots are not going to have an undefeated season. We all booked it. This is an undefeated season. The Miami Dolphins fans were in shambles. Their little celebration, you saw them depressed, doing freaking like interviews like they still got a fin. They were depressed. Like nobody thought it was going to happen. And that to me, again, context matters.
Yes,
you got to put that into play.
I would go by the champagne. They didn't even think they needed the champagne to crack it. They all rushed out at 10:30 at night to go buy the champagne.
But listen, I would argue that like the context of the situation, if we're talking about Goliath, the Baltimore Colts back then when the Jets beat them,
that's what Johnny said.
Was the AFL against the NFL, and that was a bigger mountain to climb than the Giants against the undefeated Patriots in that game. I mean, that was like, think about what's the newest league now? The UFL. Think about a team in the UFL beating the Kansas City Chiefs. That was like basically the equivalent of that situation when the AFL, a team out of nowhere. And then on top of that, he did a Babe Ruth and he called his shot.
Guaranteed it, yeah.
And guaranteed it. I mean, like, for me, I don't know about you, but Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. Context matters, because Nick will say a whole bunch of stories about our most famous quarterback, Jets quarterback. But is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
He will be. The media
debatable.
The media debatable. He'll get in because he's adored by the media.
Even if he is, he's a fringe Hall of Famer. He's like just making it, the door's about to close. He puts his foot in there and is like, wait, what about me?
You forgot about me, guys.
Yeah. Okay, let him in. His brother's in here.
That's where those brownie points come in, VR.
But
but he did beat the Patriots.
The AFL was a joke at that time, right? Wasn't it?
Yes.
Say again?
The AFL was considered a joke. Then wasn't it? Like people were like,
it was an inferior league than like I said, it was like think about any of the the leagues, USFL or the AFL, or now it's the UFL. I mean, like, think of any of those leagues. You take the best team of that league and you put them against Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and they win. The Rough Riders, whatever, a CFL team, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they win. Stiggers has an interception for a touchdown.
Nice. Don't forget too that if you're taking the career versus the career, you have to put in the historic relevance and importance of what the Jets Super Bowl victory did for the merger, right? Like, well, you guys are like right on the doorstep of saying, but we wouldn't have the league as we know it if the Jets don't win that game. Jets lose that game 30-0. The NFL just probably laughs at the AFL and says, you can't compete with us. This is not going to work out. But You know, when you look at the two quarterbacks, and I've said this before, when Eli Manning gets into the Hall of Fame, Eli Manning will join Joe Namath as the worst two quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. When you look at their touchdown to interception ratios and you look at their win records, Eli finished exactly at 500. I believe Joe finished below 500. So when you look at those, I mean, they're in there because when you win in New York and you win the first one like Joe did, and then you go and beat the Patriots, and you come from the most beloved family in America, now that we can't rely on any side of the aisle of politicians, the Mannings are the beloved family in America.
The royal family.
Right? Yes, they are the royalty of America. And Eli being on TV and being a part of the media, Eli is beloved. Like, Eli's going to get in more because he's beloved than his play on the field. Because there's a lot of 6 and 10 seasons. There's a lot of missed playoff runs. But when he got there, they finished the job. And that there's something to be said about that. You know, if you go 2 for 18, but you get there twice and you win the 2 Super Bowls, you deserve that accolade. And we don't have to hear about Brady and Belichick having 7 together or 8 together, right?
And Eli can rap.
That is true.
And he's entertaining. He's so dryly entertaining. It's fantastic.
He can rap.
Chad Powers.
All right, so we got some questions in the chat in regards to like what our interpretation of what Aaron Rodgers will be this year. We're getting some predictions, and I got to go to bed, so we're gonna go ahead and go around the panel here, and we're gonna get our Aaron Rodgers predictions for the year. I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think of how it's gonna look like. I want your Aaron Rodgers, your Breece Hall, and your Garrett Wilson predictions. We're gonna start with you. Top. Who's up? Man, this is so tiny now. I can't even see.
That's what she said. That's what she
Snowball?
said.
Yep.
That's
Snowball.
what she said.
I get out of here, bro. I'm over here on my screen. I'm like, why is this so? All right, Snowball. All right, Snowball, you're up. What's your predictions for the 3?
Dish them out
the
for,
big
for
3?
who? Which teams?
We're going to go
people?
for us. This is for the Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall.
Rodgers.
The big 3.
Listen, again, everyone's going to hate me because I'm super positive. But I think he matches his years and age with his number of touchdowns.
Ooh.
10 interceptions.
By season's end or the current age?
The current age. Current age.
I had asked.
He's starting the season. Yes, I'm not going to give him 41. I'm going to give him 40. 40 and 10, 3,800 yards for Rodgers. Breece, is it all purpose or is it just rushing?
All purpose.
All purpose. I'll give him 1,600 yards, all purpose yards. You want touchdowns?
Yeah, I sure do.
I don't know. How many did you have last season? What do you have last season? I mean, he ended the season with a lot too, right?
I think 9. Was it 9 last year or was it 8?
No, I think he had 9 touchdowns last year, right?
I think it was 9.
Yeah, but a lot of them came late.
Yeah.
Right? And the Patriots game was how many? 2? Wasn't it something like that? You got 2 in that game. Anyway, I'll put him at like 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns this year. And then Garrett Wilson. Man, you could only hope for like 15 or 1,600 yards from Garrett Wilson. I don't know, 8 touchdowns?
8 touchdowns?
8 touchdowns.
So hold on. You said 40 TDs by Rodgers, and Wilson's only getting 8 of them?
Uh-huh. I told you he's going to spread the ball around.
All
got a lot of weapons.
Okay. All right, Dano.
I'm done.
You're up.
You know, it all depends on your play call distribution, right? I mean, I can't presume to know that, but what I'll say is all-purpose Breece plus Garrett will be 3,250 total, maybe pushing 35. Like, that's a lot of yards and a big portion of the total offense. I will say it'll be damn near 3,500 together. And I do think that we have like an efficient passing attack. We might not have a ton of passing touchdowns, but it depends on what we do in the red zone, really. I'll say the ratio, though, is what most people think, 3 or 4 to 1. I do.
All right, B-Mac.
For Rodgers, it's going to be 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and the Jets defense is going to drag his old butt to the Super Bowl and win for 9.
I was like, what the hell? I thought you liked Aaron Rodgers.
No. I was just joking. I was just doing like a Peyton Manning
about CJ Stroud,
situation. But he's going to be
Broncos now.
Way better for that. He's going to be way better than Peyton Manning's last year. But well, realistically, I mean, if he gives you really 33 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, I think all Jet fans will be happy with that. I mean, I don't need him to be like, MVP type Aaron Rodgers, unless the defense regress and he has to put up points. But I said 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, maybe over 4,000 yards. I do think y'all going to be running the ball more with the running back you got in Breece Hall. And then Garrett Wilson touchdowns, maybe 13, maybe 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. And then, that's my expectation. And then for Breece Hall, maybe over 1,000 yards and maybe 8 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns. So something like that.
All right. Okay.
I think that when you look at New York Jets history and quarterbacks, we haven't, outside. I mean, Joe Namath, we haven't been that great in terms of like numbers in the season. And if you look at like the yardage per season and the touchdowns per season, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we had a quarterback that has broken 4,000 yards yet. And we just had a quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think in 2015 that broke the record that Namath held with 30, with the 31. Mm-hmm. So Rodgers is he's gonna fly past all of those, but I'm not gonna be crazy and say, okay, well he's gonna do like all of this, because I think based on the free agent signings and based on the draft and stuff like that, I think we're gonna have we're looking to have a ball control offense, and so it's going to be an amalgam of running and passing, and I think it's going to be on the level of average to conservative offense, so that we can protect Rodgers and he can display when he needs to display his talent when we need him, shootouts, things like that, Texans, Rams game, maybe the Bills and the Dolphins, those and the 49ers, those type of games. So I'm gonna say conservatively, he's gonna break all the Jets records, but he'll have like 35 touchdowns maybe, and he's pinpoint accurate. So I'll say the under on the interceptions. I mean, I think maybe 8 interceptions for the season. I think maybe about 4,200 yards passing. He'll break the 4,000 barrier, but it's not going to be a 5,000 yard season, because I don't think he's going to be just chucking the ball all over the place. Right. That being said, in regards to Breece, I think Breece is the one that's going to benefit from the ball control. So we're going to be utilizing Breece in ways that we haven't in his career, and damn sure didn't do it last year. With the OC, not knowing that he could catch the ball out of the backfield. So I'm going to say that rushing maybe about 1,200 yards rushing, about 300 yards, receiving. He's kind of around that 1,500 yard threshold for all-purpose yards, and I'm going to give him the over on touchdowns. I'll say maybe if he had 9 last year, he's going to get about 10 to 12. I'll go with the 12. And I think Garrett Wilson, I mean, you think about his career, he's had 1,000 yards every season for 2 seasons with a scarecrow, you know, and like just like a garbage can and you know a Doug's machine thrown to him, you know. So I think with a competent quarterback, which Aaron Rodgers is above a competent quarterback, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think it's probably safe to say that he is going to do a lot better in receptions and yardage. So I'm going to give him the century mark on receptions. He's going to get maybe like 102, and probably somewhere around 1,300 to 1,400. I'll give him 1,375 in yardage with about 10 touchdowns. I think he's gonna be a favorite target, like Devontae Adams, was for Rodgers in terms of targeting down the field, and then Garrett Wilson can do everything else himself, like yak yards running into the end zone or whatever, where Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to target him as a red zone target. So those are my thoughts.
Okay, Johnny.
Well, this is it's gonna be a good one right here, right? All right, so I'm gonna start with Garrett Wilson. Because G-Dub, right? He's going to break Randy Moss's touchdown record. I'm letting y'all know that, man. I've been saying that shit forever and a day. He's going to break it this year because he has Aaron Rodgers.
26?
You think he's going to get yeah, well,
it's 23, 23, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 23. I think it's 23. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll check. Go ahead. Keep going. I'll check.
Right? So he breaks it. He breaks Randy Moss's thing with us right now. Aaron Rodgers, I'm probably going to go ahead and say he's probably going to 35 touchdowns, right? I think 3,900 yards passing, 5-6 interceptions. That's it for the year, right?
23.
Yeah, 23. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Yeah, so, bro, their chemistry, they're like fucking glued to the hip right now.
Yeah.
And every OTA, G-Dub, where's he at? Oh, right next to Aaron. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, yo, can't wait to break this damn record. Yeah, me too, bro. Anyway.
Is that the hot mic? That was the hot mic you picked up on?
Exactly. And then, so this is where it gets very tough for me with the Breece Hall conversation, because I've been on with Dano multiple times, and I think it's going to be a lot more balanced, right, with the running thing. I still think he breaks 1,000 yards, right? I think his touchdowns are low, though, man, because I think it's going to be Braylon Allen when he gets in that damn red zone, right? It's the one that's going to hit him and punch it in. That's my take on that, because I love Breece Hall, man. I do. I really do. But 1,000 yards, 400 catching, you know what I mean? Catching yards, whatever. It's a tough one, man, because, again, like I said, I mean, they're going into this more run type of option shit, and I think we're going to see a lot more jet sweeps that we've never seen before. So, yeah. What was the other question? That was it, right?
You got Aaron Rodgers already?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and the second one.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. Let's go, Jets, baby. What up, Porto? What's up, Nick? I didn't even say what up to you guys, man.
All right, Nick, you up, bro?
I was hoping you'd throw it to Porto because his math wasn't mathing, and I wanted to see how confused he was right now, because he looks like he's got like a usual suspects. He's got the cup there with the rope and the pin.
I'm trying to put the strings together and shit. I'm like, oh wait, camera issue. Sorry.
Porto 30, he's like, I mean, your guidance are so safe. All right, Rodgers. I'm a numbers guy. I don't do analytics, but I like symmetrical numbers. Like it's like an OCD that I have. So with Rodgers, I'm gonna go 4-3-2-1 on the yardage. I'm gonna give him also 43 touchdowns, and I think it's beautiful when you have a quarterback like that who throws less than 10 interceptions. So I'm gonna give him 9. So I'm going 4-3-2-1 with 43 and 9. Garrett Wilson. I'm going 125 receptions.
Wow.
I'm going my son's and daughter's birthday together, 17-14 on the yardage, with 17 touchdowns. I think he gets a touchdown a game. I wouldn't be surprised if he surpasses that. We saw that opening drive against the Giants in the preseason. They fed him the ball 4 times on the drive. Don't forget, we're not afraid of an interception when you get down to the red zone. We know the quarterback can make the throws. This is something we've never seen before. B-Mac knows what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, we're at the 18? Oh, we're not kicking a 45-yard field goal after 3 losses and Becton can't block anyone. We're actually going to fucking score. So that's going to be fun. Breece Hall will average 101 yards rushing a game and end up with 17-17 on the ground. Breece Hall will score 17 rushing touchdowns. Breece Hall will have the same amount of catches for the season as he averages yards per game. Symmetrical numbers. I told you, 101 receptions on the season. My birthday, 10-18 with the yardage, 7 receiving touchdowns, 24 total touchdowns for Breece Hall, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. And the most important number for all of them, 1. One fucking Super Bowl ring, boys. Follow that, Porto.
Oh, it's great.
Like 36,000 yards for rushing.
me and Nick both shared the exact same birthday, minus the year. I just want to put that out there.
Minus the year, he pointed that out very clear. No, that worked out perfect, Nick.
October 18th.
I know the day. I said, what year are you?
Oh, 85.
85. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 7 years apart, and that's the 7 receiving touchdowns Breece will have. Boom!
Hey, boom!
I don't even know.
Symmetrical.
Symmetrical numbers, baby.
Hey, symmetrical's in a circle, right?
Symmetry, yeah. Symmetry. It's like a symmetry to it.
It's in a cinnamon roll.
It works out good that I was after Nick, because every single person on this panel, and Gunny works with me, knows I never sit here and do the analytics thing ever on any of my shows. I never sit there and give you stats. Listen, I regret a lot of things from my divorce. Okay. One of the biggest things is I never got my revenge on her winning in fantasy football. That's how bad I am when it comes to stats and shit. Okay. But I look at it this way, guys, from everything I watch with all the content you guys put out, everything for all the guys. I look at it. If we're seeing 18 plus touchdowns from Garrett Wilson, something is going wrong. He's had to be that guy because of the situations we've been in. Let's not forget, we got a guy that we closed down this offseason with a sandwich, okay? He's going to play a part. I'm hoping that everything we talk about when it comes to Rodgers and how he spreads that ball, we're going to see that. So for me, if we're happy, that's showing me, hey, Wilson's sitting at that 1,000, 1,200 yards. He's got his 10 TD. Awesome. Breece Hall, I love what you said, Nick. The 100 plus a game, I would love that, right? But I also see where maybe he doesn't get to that 10 that we all think he can get to. Because let's look at this rookie, okay? Braylon's no joke. I see him playing a part in this offense, right? So you got to say, all right, listen, I'm okay giving that kid 3 or 4 touchdowns because then that means he's showing up and showing out for us, right? So I want to look at the fact that if we look at Rodgers, you guys threw out all the numbers. His last healthy season was like 26 touchdowns. The season before that was like that really good one with the 40 plus, right? So yeah, we can sit there, oh, let's look at the age and we take this and minus this and carry it over. And then yes, I am doing this, Nick. I'm like, oh shit, right? So for me, I see, hey, we finally get what we've been begging for. We're making that playoff run. We're gonna win this division. We have the pieces to do it. What I'm most focused on is please get me past 4 plays. That is the biggest thing I say on every time I've talked to you guys. Give me play 5 and exactly. Give me play 5 and then I am ready to throw out the fucking largest numbers you ever heard. Rodgers, 13,000 yards. I'll fucking go. Okay. I'm just ready for a good season, man. See, look, Nick. Look at that tag team, bro. That worked out great.
Porto, can I do something that I've never done, but I've always wanted to? I wanted to do the fucking happy. I was you dancing, and I've never been on with you to do it yet.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I love the analytics, the breakdowns, the passion, the desire. Thank you, gentlemen, for jumping on. I'm gonna break mine down real quick, and I think for me, I do see Aaron Rodgers breaking records for the New York Jets. I don't see a scenario unless, again, the injury bug, knock on wood, becomes an issue that he doesn't break the record when it comes to touchdowns, and passing yards. I've got Aaron Rodgers going for 4,500. I got him going for 4,500 yards this year. I got him at freaking 38 touchdowns, just shy of 40, with 8 interceptions. I think this is going to be a guy that's coming into this game with a resurgence we haven't seen in a while. This is a guy that we know elevates himself whenever there's a chip on his shoulder. And I think we're going to see a very angry and determined guy coming into this season that's going to feast. Now, to talk about what Jigga was talking about, I think we have forgotten just how much talent the Jets went out and acquired this freaking offseason. I think Mike Williams is going to be a huge contributor. I actually think Tyler Conklin is going to have a career year this year as well.
Gunny, I said, Gunny, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Literally, because I wrote it on here and I forgot to say it because I commented on Boy Green's comment today about Conklin. I said, listen, I hoped for it last season. You were on that episode with me, and I said, Conklin's my X factor. Okay, reset. Here we go. Give it to me again. Whatever number Rodgers has in touchdowns, 7 of those better be to Conklin. Okay?
I agree.
I'm sorry. I digress.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. And I think when you look at how well this team has been built up, like they've literally put as many weapons around Rodgers so that way he doesn't have to be Superman every game. And that's why I think you got the Breece Hall and the Brandon Allen, who's going to go ahead and pretty much carry a lot of the rock. I think we're going to have 2 awards this year from the offensive side of the football. I think the offensive comeback player of the year is going to be, or the comeback player of the year, Aaron Rodgers, 4,500 yards, freaking 38 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I think Breece Hall collectively is going to be the guy that goes for over 2K all-purpose yards. I think he's going to have around 1,500 rushing yards, another 5 to 6 in terms of rushing yards, receiving yards. And then you throw in about 12 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, because I do believe Brandon Allen is going to steal some of those freaking short yardage situations away from him, which is good for us because that means our boy can stay healthy and fresh throughout the entire freaking season, which I think we can all get behind. And I'm hearing a lot of good things about Isaiah Davis as well. So it looks like we might have a 3-headed monster back there because Isaiah Davis is showing out as well. I know he pissed off Rodgers today because he lined up at the wrong spot and got shooed away. But other than that, he's been having a pretty good OTAs. And our boy Garrett Wilson, I love GW. Love him. This kid, I can't wait for us to sign him long term. I think he's going to be a face of this franchise for years. But I also think right now he's going to be able to do something he hasn't done the last couple of years. Play football with a competent quarterback and not have to face a constant double and triple coverages because we've got Tyler Conklin, because we've got Mike Williams. Malachi Corley is looking like he's going to go ahead and be able to do some damage as well. So seeing him go one-on-one, I do have him at 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. 18 sounds great, 20 sounds great. Like those do sound great, but I do believe that we've got way too many mouths to feed, and we haven't seen what this offense is really used. We haven't seen what freaking Conklin's really capable of. He's never had an elite quarterback on the ball. Somehow, somewhere, he's finished top 10 as a tight end the last 2 years and back-to-back. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with a legitimate quarterback. Garrett Wilson has finished the last 2 years with 1,000-plus yards. Like freaking Uncle was saying, he had a jug machine throwing him the ball, and somehow, some way, he got 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. I think we should be excited, man. I do. I think we got comeback player of the year in Aaron Rodgers and the offensive player of the year in Breece Hall, and you're going to see a couple of MVP votes for both of those guys, I think, by the end of the season. But I'm with freaking Nick on this one. I think ultimately what all this means is we're going to go ahead and get a ring. I think if this team stays healthy, I look at this defense and what they can do. And now imagine this. We have never seen this defense be able to play to do what they're designed to do. We haven't seen it. We've never played long enough with the lead to see these guys literally pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. We're going to get to see these guys do that this year. And I think people keep underrating that. Like Aaron Rodgers.
Imagine seeing that in multiple games, Gunny. Right? Imagine seeing it back-to-back games. The confidence that's going to build in that defense that they already have. That's just.
We saw it in the second half of the Houston Texans game last year, and that's it.
That's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, but hold on, but guys, remember this one little thing. Don't forgetting about one little thing. Y'all still the New York Jets. LOL Jets. I'm just joking. I'm joking. No,
and that's the only argument. Like, in fact, I'm embracing that. Because every time we talk about like the facts and the stats about what the Jets can be, all you hear are one of two things. Y'all not going to stay healthy or you're still the New York Jets. It's not that like, oh, we suck or our talent can't do it or you guys are dreaming. No, we're not going to stay healthy or you're the New York Jets. So feelings over facts, I'll take that all day. It's going to be real sweet seeing a lot of people be quiet though this year.
Hey, B-Mac, guess what, bro? You're over here with a whole bunch of the LOL Jet fans over here, not with the Green Bay. We don't know what the hell's going on over there.
I was just remember that, and you know, like the haters in the national media, you know, like right? Oh, well, it's through the Jets. It's through the Jets. Like,
Darius Rucker. Yeah.
I'm talking about now. I'm talking past history.
About what?
That comment is great.
Yeah, I had to comment on that. I was just like,
that one got me. That was good.
Zoom, like a Zoom call right now.
I was like, shit. Now I feel like I'm working. End the show, Gunny. End the fucking.
Actually, yeah, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. I appreciate all you guys for jumping on it and chopping it up with me, man. Real talk. Y'all the OGs. We're gonna do this more often on the Hangout because this is what it's supposed to be about. So we're not going to do guests every single week. I'm going to go ahead and start setting up at least one time a month where this is what we do. We just get on screen. We talk Jets football. I saw a lot of individuals in here enjoying the show. Gentlemen, if you've got your own channels, you want to go ahead and drop your stuff, go ahead and drop that for the people to know where they can find you at.
All right, y'all want me to go first?
Go ahead. I don't work at all, so I'm good. Go ahead, Johnny.
So, I don't know if you guys have already seen and everything like that, right? So I'm going to put this out there. Myself and my uncle, we got our own thing going on right now, which is actually starting this Friday. So we're super excited about it. You guys come and check it out. We've been putting it out. You guys are going to see that. And the other one, too, is myself and Snowball, right? We are partnered up as well. And that is another show that's going to be getting ready to come out, right? Again, it's completely different. And it's not what you guys are going to be thinking about. You guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. Let's just say, make sure you guys have your bibs on, because we cooking, baby. We cooking with some real good grease. All
right.
Yep. Just to piggyback on that, this Friday coming up, 411 on New York sports. We're going to be talking about New York sports. It's not going to be just Jets content. It's going to be all the teams in New York with an additional amount of other sports like boxing, like MMA, like soccer, like WNBA. We're gonna talk about it all, from one subject to another, and it's also going to be about culture. It's going to be about music. It's gonna, we're gonna have guests on there, outside of sports as well. It's just going to encapsulate just kind of like the everyday living that we do, sports and the community. So that's going to be one show. And then, of course, and I'll let Nick talk a little about it as well. Sunday Night Shenanigans at 9 p.m. Proud New York Jets fan. We have a great time. That's, every week we, doing that. And it's been successful. We've had some great guests. Last week we had Adam Y2K on Sunday, and just had an awesome show. I mean, like, we literally went to 2:00 in the morning. So just having fun, man. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Gunny, for giving us the opportunity to come on here, chop it up, have fun with you. And this is awesome, bro.
This was great. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate y'all.
I don't need to plug, but because it's right here. But Gunny, how far are you from monetization, man?
I think I need another 4,000 views, and I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why views?
I got you.
I thought it was.
They changed the algorithm.
They did.
Like watch hours, or
like watch hours. I needed to hit 5,000 watch hours, plus the 500 plus subscribers. So I'm at like four. I'm lying. I lied to you guys. I'm at like it's 15,000, and I'm at 4,000 right now, away from getting there. Yeah, they changed it up big, man. I was just like
15,000 watch hours.
No. For the ad revenue is one thing, but like it's 4,000 from what I've been tracking.
Not even to get the super chats.
The super chats is the first level.
500 and 4,000. He's right. Dane's right.
I'll tell you right now. I'll jump into the channel while y'all announce.
Because I know they were bugging last week. Like, they wanted to donate to you. So.
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate the love, man. Like, I'm looking forward to getting there. Like, I really appreciate it. But I mean, it's not me. It's them.
Just know there's two different levels. One is lower for super chats, and then the other one's ad revenue, and that's a lot higher.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now.
I'm gonna say it, Gunny. I mean, I'm big on, I understand we all use YouTube. It's an unnecessary evil. We have no choice, right? But that's why we started using Buy My Coffee with the morning brew, man, because it lets you keep 95% of everything that's been donated from our communities, people that really are supporting you. Why should their 30% of the money they're trying to give you go back to YouTube? And then all these guidelines on there. So I want it to be where if someone wants to watch me on YouTube, great. They want to watch us on X, they want to watch us on Twitch, wherever you want. But at least, if you want to tip us and support us, Buy My Coffee is the way to go. I'll send you the link, bro.
Yeah, man, I'd appreciate it. Because, I mean, I never even thought of it that way, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's how I look at it, right? Why should we have to be constrained? It's been the same system for a long time where we're all like, oh, my God, let's chase the 10 cents for the 1,000 views. Oh, my God! And the truth of the matter is all of us get to keep doing this because look at this panel, bro. Like, every single person on here, I can sit and say, like, Johnny and Dano and VR like starting the freaking Ring of Honor and Snowball in our Discord and now doing your own content. Well, you know what? If people want to tip you, why wait for YouTube to say when it's okay for someone to say, hey, good job? So that's my TED Talk. But if you want to catch more of this guy over here, Gunny, you can catch him with us. The Jets Evening Brew is coming back June 19th. We got Cynthia Freeland kicking off another season with us. Abby and Gunny will both be joining Italy Jet and myself as rotating co-hosts every week this season. It's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited for it. And right there we go. I'm done.
Tell Cynthia Freeland. You cannot let me on with her, but
we've been lucky, bro. Cynthia's been she's kicked off the last two seasons with us.
And I say this all the time when I see her on the NFL Network. She dresses like I choose her outfits. So tell her, she wears some outfits, and I was like, that's exactly what I would pick for her. Well done.
I gotta plead the fifth here.
Deep got jokes. Look at this panel.
No.
As you guys know, Nick, proud NYJ fan. VR and I have Sunday shenanigans, 9:00 on Sunday. Wednesday night, Jets Chaos with Jeremy. Thursday night throwdown. Producer JR just came out with some new videos, some new layouts, new video for Thursday night, new video for Sunday night for the intros. And I will be going on. I slept for 12 hours last night. I was sleeping before 10 o'clock last night for the first time, and I can remember. So I just created the link. And after we're done here, head over Proud NYJ fan, and all are welcome. Hopefully you guys can make it. And even you, B-Mac, with your shitty Jets takes and your horrible touchdown to interception ratio. You know what? I was Team B-Mac, but now I'm Team Allen. You made me
but B-Mac does it right, though. He shows up, for me at least. He shows up. I'm like, yeah, look at the Yankees hat. He gets my guard all down. He's like, screw your Jets. I'm like, damn, what the hell?
And real quick on the Yankees. Could Garrett Cole getting hurt be the greatest thing to happen to the Yankees? Because now Gil, 8-1, yeah. He's the first pitcher in Yankees history to have 7 straight starts with 6 innings pitched or 1 or 0 earned runs given up. All the great Yankees pitchers, and he's now at the top. And he wouldn't have been in the starting rotation if Cole was there. So 100%. This is amazing. Yankees are on a great run. Best team in baseball. I'm going to pee, and then I'll go live. Gunny, thanks for having me on. Everyone's great seeing you guys. And Johnny obviously has his special needs helmet on for when he rides the short bus. Later, everyone.
Hey, good night, everybody. Later, I'll catch y'all next week on the Hangout.
What up for Snowball?
Oh, Snowball, you drop yours yet?
Oh, just coming in August. Me and Johnny. We'll be on in August.
Okay,
when training camp starts. Channel is Jets Worldwide. So
Jets Worldwide.
Cool.
Nice. Do me a favor and just put it in the comments in the description, and I'll go ahead and pin it so that way people can go ahead and track that.
I can't type in the comments.
Well, once we get off, you'll see it on YouTube.
I'm gonna
just
do
put
that,
it there.
yes.
Yep, and then I'll pin it for you.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you, gentlemen. All right. I'm going to bed, man. I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me, man. Y'all are freaking awesome. This was supposed to be a 1-hour show. And here we are 2 hours later. I got held hostage, but I fucking loved it. This was awesome, guys. I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, do we talk about Hassan Reddick?
Good night, man. Good night.